Hello everyone, welcome back to our SolidWorks course. In this new video, we would be taking an exercise in order to understand how do we build 3D models using Symmetric. In this exercise, you would be introduced to dynamic mirror. What it is, we will take a look at it when we move to SolidWorks. Now, I will show you our geometry first. This is our geometry. You can see here, if you analyze the geometry properly, if you divide this geometry from the midplane, and if you try to cut this geometry from the center line, something like this, you can see that it would be generating two equal halves. This is how we know that our geometry is symmetric. And how do we model it? We will take a look at it when we go to SolidWorks. So let's move to SolidWorks and begin with our sketching. We have a reference image over here. We will now create a new part using Ctrl N on our keyboard. We will double click on the part over here and it creates a new part. Now first, we would start sketching. But in order to start with our first sketch, we will choose the top plane. Why? You can see that this body would be divided symmetrically if the sketch is drawn in the top plane. Hence, we would be selecting the top plane. I will click on the top plane and select the sketch icon from over here. Now that we are into the sketching mode, I will start drawing it. But before we do that, I want to introduce you to dynamic mirror and where do we access it from. In order to access the dynamic mirror command, you go to Tools, Sketch Tools and select Dynamic Mirror from here. Now, before we get into the dynamic mirror command, we will first draw a center line. Let's say a center line starts from here. We will take the help of inference lines in order to create a center line from the origin. We have created the center line. Now we will go to Tools, Sketch Tools and select Dynamic Mirror from here. Now it asks us about which line do we want to create our mirrored sketch or the dynamic mirrored sketch. I will say this center line over here. It has accepted the command. We can see over here that we have two parallel lines at the top and the bottom as well, denoting that we are in the dynamic mirror command. Now let's say if you want to use the dynamic mirror command every now and then, instead of going to Tools, Sketch Tools and then selecting the dynamic mirror and turning it off from here, what we will do is that we will add the dynamic mirror command to this toolbar over here. For that, we will simply right click on this toolbar over here and go to Customize. Once we are in the Customize menu, we will go to Commands and from here we will select Sketching Commands. I will search for dynamic mirror tool over here. See, I can see the icon over here. I will simply drag this icon and place it wherever I want. Let's say I want my dynamic mirror tool to be placed over here. I will simply leave the mouse button and it has been added over here. Now we don't need to go to Tools, Sketch Tools and then select dynamic mirror every time. I will click on OK and exit this menu. You can see that now the dynamic mirror function is being turned on. It is being highlighted by a dark color. Now let's begin with our sketching. We will first draw a rough sketch and then define it using our dimensions. I will set the line command from over here and start sketching. I will draw the base profile that is being shown. I will first start from here. Let's say I will draw a horizontal line and then pull the line vertically downwards. Pull this line at an incline inwards and then again move inwards horizontally. Again draw a vertical line upwards and then connect it back to our center line. Now as you observed while we were creating our profile, as I was creating a line over here, a similar line was being created on the opposite side of our center line. This is how the dynamic mirror works. It will be quite helpful while you create symmetric sketches. Now let's start defining this sketch by using our dimensions. We will get into Smart Dimensions by pressing a right mouse button and then sliding our mouse upwards. Here we will give this a width of 70 mm. If I select this line, I will be given the option to enter its dimension. Next, we know that this whole length is 100 mm as shown over here. I will select this line and give it a distance up till this line of 100 mm. Now this line is being given a height or a distance of 50 millimeters. So I will simply select the line and drag it horizontally so that my dimension is vertical. I will click on the screen and enter 50 as my value. Other dimensions given here are this 40, the one over here. I will select the endpoints and give them dimensions. Let's say 40. Next, I know that this height over here or this line is 30 millimeters. So I will click on the screen, enter the value 30. Next, I know that this line over here is 25 millimeters wide. I will select the line, pull the dimension upwards, click on the screen. Now it has selected the line, it has selected the center line and changed my dimensions from this line to this line. Now it is showing us a value that is an angle over here. I will again press escape and get out and unselect that line. You have to make sure that you don't select any other line while giving dimensions. So I will give it some tolerance. I will have some spacing between my dimension and the center line and I will place it over here. Now it has taken the dimension. I will enter my value as 25. Now we have to define this line from a fixed reference. What I will do is that I will exit the dimensions command by pressing escape. I will click on this click on this line and press a right click mouse button and select its midpoint. Now I will press Ctrl and select the center point, that is the origin, and leave my Control button. Here I will select the make coincident command and coincide its midpoint onto the center. Now you can see that once we have given this line a reference from a fixed point, my complete sketch has been defined. All the sketch entities have turned black, indicating that my sketch is fully defined. Also, you can cross check it over here. This says fully defined. Once we have a sketch fully defined, we can move to extruding it. I will go to features and then select extrude boss base from over here. Now I want to extrude this profile for 20 millimeters in the upward direction. I will select it and then press OK. We can see over here that a profile has been extruded. Now let's move to creating this profile over here. I will be sketching on this face. I will select the face and go to the sketch command. I will press normal to. Now let's say you don't want to press normal to again and again. What you can do is that you can press the keyboard shortcut, that is Ctrl 8. Even Ctrl 8 sets our plane normal to the screens. Again here we would be using the dynamic mirror command. For that first we would be creating a center line from the origin over here. Let's say this is a center line, it is a vertical line downwards. Now next we would be creating this geometry. I will select the line command and start sketching from here, as we know that these two are coincident. I will start from here, create a vertical line downwards, move to the left, create another horizontal line but not till the center. I will again move upwards and create this small gap we have over here like this, and now I will close the sketch over here. You can see here that we did not enable the dynamic mirror command, and due to that this sketch did not replicate on the other side. In order to create the dynamic mirror command, you have to first select it and then begin with your sketching. Now we can simply use a normal mirror entities command and select all these lines over here by selecting them using a box selection. You can see here all the lines have been selected. Now I will go to mirror about and enter the center line over here. Next, what we will do here is that I will click on OK and generate the mirror. Now I will start defining this sketch, and this one here would be automatically defined as it is a mirror of our sketch. I will give it dimensions, starting with this 40 over here. These two lines are at a distance of 40 millimeters. I will select both of them and enter the dimension as 40. These two lines are at a distance of 30 millimeters. I will select both of them, place my dimension so that none other line is selected or none other sketch entity is selected, and I will give them a dimension of 30. I know that Here I know that this line is 20 millimeters as shown in the reference image. I will enter 20 over here, and this line is 10 millimeters long. I will enter 10 as its dimension. You can see that I have defined the entities on only one side, but the other side has already been defined because they are mirrors and they have dependencies. Once we have created a sketch, we will move to extruding it. I will go to features and select extrude boss face. Here you can see that we have a total height of 40 millimeters from the bottommost face, but the extrusion here is starting from the plane that we were sketching on. What I will do here is that I will select from which plane I want or from which face I want to start my extrusion. I will go to this drop down and select surface, face and plane. I will give this face as my input. Now you can see that the extrusion begins from the bottommost face. I will here enter my value, that is 40 millimeters, and you can see that this has been extruded to a desired height. I will click on OK and then let it extrude. We are not yet done with our part modeling. We have this small feature over here that needs to be generated. You can see over here that this is not completely flat. There is a step over here. What I will do is that I will again select this face and begin sketching on it. I will set it normal to using the Ctrl 8 command. Now here I will show you another function of SolidWorks, that is convert entities. What convert entities is? As the name says, it converts the entities from other sketches into a current sketch. I will show you how we do it. We first select convert entities from over here, and it asks us what entities do we want to convert. I want to convert this line and this line into our current sketch. I will select both of them. The selection is being shown over here. I will press on OK, and now you can see that these lines have been highlighted. You can see that these lines are thicker than the others, showing that these lines are a part of a new sketch now. Now instead of creating a rectangle, I just have to draw two lines, one connecting these 2 points and the other one connecting these 2 points. You can see here that without giving any dimensions, our sketch is completely defined as we used references from our previous sketches or previous features that we generated. Once this is done, I will click on OK, move to features and then go to extrude boss face. Now you can see here that this feature or a profile is being extruded with blind command. But when we take a look at a reference image, the distance of this feature is given from the topmost face over here. Now I can perform calculations, go do subtractions and stuff in order to get this height. But we can work in a smart way and use the functions provided by SolidWorks. Here we will use an option that says offset from surface. We will select this surface as the surface that we want to generate our extrude, and it should be at an offset of, let's say, 15 millimeters. Now here, as I have entered the value, you can see that my plane or that my profile is being extruded from here itself, but I have an offset from this plane, offset from this face over here. If I click on OK, you can see that it generates the feature as we want. What it did is that it offsetted this profile at 15 millimeters from this top face. Instead of putting your efforts in the wrong direction, you can use the SolidWorks commands in a smart way and create your models more efficiently. We will set this to isometric mode, and now you can see that a geometry has been created. If you split the geometry from the center, you will be seeing that it would be creating two equal halves. This is how we generate symmetric parts. I hope everything that was shown you into this video was understood. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.